this afternoon to the Tuckahoe History Committee, and today our exhibit is about our new mini marble museum, and we will take you on a short tour of that, but I'd like to introduce you to some people first. Mayor White is here today, and he's co-chairperson, and he has a few things to say.
Thank you. We've welcomed numerous people here to see the slideshow and to check on the history of the village of Tuckahoe. So many other things, not only the marble industry, but also where the PIL started here in Tuckahoe many years ago under Mayor Gibbons.
Okay, we'll take a walk around here and show you the Mini Marble Museum. And first we'll talk to the mayor of Tuckahoe, Steve Eklund. Would you like to say a few words to our viewers?
I sure would. Thank you, Alice, the current mayor, but Phil is always the mayor of Tuckahoe, so thank you so much. And I just want to thank you both. You know, this is beautiful what you're doing here today. You know, you're preserving our past, and for multi-generation families like mine, it's really a treasure for what you've done here. So it's beautiful. I'm just fascinated looking at all the old books.
I'm so happy it's coming along so well.
Oh, it is. It's great participation, great attendance. Okay, absolutely. Did Lisa, did you get introduced yet? Lisa, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Lisa Halen. I got involved with this when I retired a few years ago because I wrote one of the chapters in the beautiful Eastchester book that came out during its anniversary. But I came here to research a lot of the topics, and I fell in love with Alice and Phil. They're just wonderful people. They do such a wonderful job here, and I'm happy to help them out.
Well, thank you. And maybe we'll walk over here. Betty's going to maybe tell us about some of the wonderful things you have for sale here today.
Well, we have the history of Tuckahoe. Yeah, history of Tuckahoe. And we have a beautiful comforter here. Not comforter, it's a blanket coverlet, and we have cookbooks. We have the marble that came from Tuckahoe, and a lot of booklets for here. And I think, and we also even have a shopping bag. I think a lot of this is just beautiful. I love all of this. I was born here. My mother was born here, so it's nice to be here. Believe me, I love it.
And it's so nice that you're staying here and you're helping out. Now, if somebody isn't here today to buy this, they can probably come here when the Historical Society is here on Wednesdays, right?
Wednesdays, yeah, we're here usually from 9 to 11. 9 to 1, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, good. And Ann Carapella, do you want to say a few words for us?
Well, I'm a native of Tuckahoe, born and raised here. I was original member of the Eastchester Historical at one time. Then I retired from there and came here, and I'm very, very happy to be here at this point because I've been here all my life also. So it's very common that people that live here are very happy to help out and be part of the history of Tuckahoe.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you both very, very much. And it's so true, actually. There's a lot of families who've stayed in Tuckahoe, multi-generation families who are still here, and most of those families do give back to the village. So that's very, very nice. And we have Arlene Gruber. Arlene, thank you so much for all the work you do. I know you help out a tremendous amount. So tell us a little bit about your family, because I know your family's been in the village a long time.
Well, my grandfather, Meyer, he was the first president of the Board of Education here, and he had in the depot, he used to have the horse and buggy. Then they went to, he had a little gas station down at the corner of, well, they called it Dusenberry at the time. And then my other part of the family are the Fishers from Fisher Avenue, Eastchester. So we have we're well covered with the families. And I grew up right on Main Street here near Cameron Place. And Nick Zinzana, who's doing all this work for us, I lived right across the hall from him when I was a little girl. And we had a good time.
Now, you learn something new all the time.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Fisher Avenue, and I live almost at the corner of
Yeah.
Fisher Avenue,
Yeah.
is named after your
The Fi-
family?
The Fisher family that lived on Mill Road. And John Fisher was he was a notable with the quarries. He helped with the quarries and everything else. And in fact, at Immaculate Conception Church, the second stained glass window is John and Alice Wise Fisher. And they were, founders in this area and very, communicants of the Immaculate Conception Church. So it's a lot of history.
I never knew that. It's amazing how every week you find something new out about the village. So, and we have over here our village trustee, Greg Luisi. Greg, I know you're a relative newcomer, I guess.
Yeah, I'm only here since 1984. But we've raised 4 children here, so hopefully they will procreate, and maybe in 100 years they'll be standing here talking about this time.
Grandpa, I hope so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope. But on a more serious note, though, this is such a fascinating display of artifacts of Tuckahoe. But the information here about how this village became what it is today, it's truly amazing. And I strongly encourage all our new residents to come out, speak to Alice and Phil White, Arlene Gruber, Betty Gallo, and Carapello. I mean, they are a treasure trove of information, and there is so much here that you can be proud of as a resident of Tuckahoe. Alice and Phil, along with the rest of the committee, have just done such a tremendous job archiving all of these artifacts. And Nick Sanzano right now is he's in the courtroom right now. Mm-hmm. He has an amazing array of photographs going back to the 1800s of Tuckahoe, and he is detailing where those photographs were taken and in relation to what we now know Tuckahoe as today. I mean, it's truly amazing. So if you're a history buff, second floor Village Hall on Wednesdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. They will be more than happy to share this wonderful information with you.
It's the place to be.
If you have a group or scouts, we would be happy to do a tour. Just have to call Village Hall and ask for us, and we will certainly give you a tour.
We just can't thank you enough for preserving our Tuckahoe history.
Hi, it's Lissa again. I'm just going to take you on a mini tour of our mini marble museum. We'd like you all to come and visit because the walls are filled with information about the town of Tuckahoe, beginning with a quarry picture that you have to come and examine and just find the people in it. It'll give you a wonderful understanding of the depth of the quarries. And then just to the right of that, we have a map from 1870 when the quarries were in full swing. And right next we have a modern map which shows their present day locations. And up above, you'll be fascinated by the pictures of those same quarries and what they look like today. And down below, you'll see a stepping stone. Again, come and take a look and you'll find out who actually stepped on that stepping stone to get into their horse-drawn carriages. We're going to head down to a wall on the opposite side. You may know that Tuckahoe marble was the marble capital of the world, yes, even over Italy. And here we have several of the buildings which were made of Tuckahoe marble and still standing. They're all over the United States, from New Orleans, New York City, Boston, and one of them is a facade that you will see in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, where it was actually transferred to when the building was taken down. So come and look at it. You'll get a history of all of these buildings and a history of the Tuckahoe marble. And right below it, a wonderfully scaled diorama of a quarry at its heyday. Thank you. And again, this is just some tidbits. Come and find out all the real stuff. Thank you. This whole area in Town Hall got started because of Phil and Alice and people who brought little articles at first which talked about the town. At this point in time, talked about the village. At this point in time, there are over 150 binders, each cataloged by notables in the town, the schools in the town, the police and fire department, Borough's Welcome, the Bronx River Parkway, the Hutchinson River Parkway, and in the middle we have some artifacts from various pieces of Tuckahoe's history. We have a pharmaceutical box from Borough's Welcome. We also have a piece of the World Trade Center. So again, come and look. These are wonderful history, but when you come, plan to spend some time pulling out one of the 150 binders that you would like some more information about. Come and enjoy.
I'd like to introduce you now to Richard Foliani, who is the town historian, but he loves Tuckahoe and he comes down here a lot, and he'd like to say a few words. Go ahead, Richard.
Well, stay here, Alice. I've been fortunate to be the town historian since 1988, but when we put together our book for the 350th, the information that Phil and Alice have collected here and their vast knowledge of this wonderful village really helped make our celebration great and was instrumental in us putting together the book Out of the Wilderness, the Emergence of Eastchester, Tuckahoe, and Bronxville, which is now almost totally sold out. But thank you, Alice. You can still get copies of this book from the Eastchester Historical Society, Cornell's Hardware, or War Mass in Bronxville. Thank you.
I'd like to introduce you to Elaine Pagaroli. She has been our sole supporter here. She comes and she really enjoys every minute, and she gives us a lot of information. Thank you so much, Elaine.
Oh, thank you so much. God bless you. What a labor of love.
A little south of the Carioca, they had this garage, Acme Garage. You had the gas station at the corner on the right. Here's the Parkway Casino, when it was a casino, not a medical building. And what made the Parkway Casino nice was, look at this bar. I've seen Art Deco, and this is the epitome of it. And I thought this was fantastic. This was the show place to go. The Parkway Casino, a dinner deluxe, $1.50. And you had a master of ceremonies, you had dancers, you had an orchestra for $1.50 a head. That included your food.
FDR used to like to frequent that on his way home, and it was there that he declared he was going to run for governor.
Interesting. And Dutch Schultz was probably there that day.
Probably.
Could be.
They said Dutch Schultz used to frequent there. You can see how lavish the interior was. It was really something.
Remember they tried to revive it in the 70s? They had that whole type of...
We used to have dances there. We used to have local bands.
Yes.
Perform.
They had shows there.
Exactly.
Fire department always had theirs.
Here's Crestwood Station. And Norman Rockwell liked it so much he made a picture of Crestwood Station.
The little kid selling the newspapers was Ernie's brother.
Really?
Ernie's Zucker's brother.
He used
Oh, really?
real people
Yeah.
for his models.
And again, picture of Crestwood Station. What I like with this picture is it shows all the buildings in Crestwood, virtually none.
Look at it now.
Over here is Fisher Avenue. And this is before the bank at the corner. at the gas station, I mean, at the train station. So you got Fisher Avenue here, and Columbus Avenue is,
That's all place there.
1927. And you gotta realize, when they say circa, the picture was 1927. This building was up many years prior to that. Eventually, we had all the supermarkets built. But back then, you went to the deli, you went to the bread store, you went to the meat store, you went to the drug store, you went to the fish market.
Chicken store to get a chicken.
Exactly. You knew all the proprietors.
Yeah.
Everybody knew everybody.
Yeah. And you also pointed out one of the stores had the overhang.
The awning.
Yeah, we don't have awnings anymore.
No, a lot of character went with the awnings.
Mm.
It was great, but these pictures really show Tuckahoe at its peak.
Yeah. How were the pictures taken without cars and people walking? How were the pictures taken? Go back to the picture before this one. How was a picture like that taken without people, two cars just visible, nobody in the street, no cars in the street?
They may have taken early morning. Or
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could think of.
That's the only thing I could think of also.
But Phil and Alice White really compiled a tremendous amount of pictures.
Mm.
All they did was try to put them in some order and
Provide
go to
commentary.
next step and scan them,
Yeah.
put them on the internet,
Yeah.
and put them so we could do a show like this. Take care, Rich. Thanks, Rich.
Why did you have? Oh, scan them so you could put them in there.
Yeah, the pictures are in albums.
Yeah.
And the only time you can really see the pictures here at Village Hall is
Yeah.
Wednesdays from 10 to 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's impossible. So
It's impossible.
for people to see,
Yeah.
to make the time, take time off
Yeah.
from work.
Yeah.
So I put everything on, I scanned all their pictures, I put it
Yeah.
on the internet,
Yeah.
and then I put together the show.
What service did you use on the internet?
It's on the Village website.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But these are great pictures.
Right, you see, I live in Eastchester, up the hill, so I don't know about these things.
Well, my next step, I've been talking with the Eastchester historians. I'm doing Eastchester next. So we'll have a compilation of everything, and we're also going to put it on the Eastchester channel. And
The channel or the website?
the website.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
Sorry.
Because the channel is the Cablevision thing.
Well, we'll be talking with them.
Yeah.
We'd like to do something, but we need to go a lot further. So Eastchester and Bronxville are next on the list.
Yeah.
And that's really all the pictures we have. What I showed today was about 300 pictures, and there's about 600 all told. And if we get a chance, we're going to put it all on disc so that people want to purchase the pictures, they can do it. I have friends in California, and they have the pictures.
Who do that?
No, they lived in Tuckahoe. Now they live in California, and they're looking at the pictures in California. So I get a lot of great emails.
Yeah, I've been to the quarry or Fisher Avenue and some of the other quarries just to look at it. And unfortunately, the quarries do have a lot of water. You can't really go down there unless you're a kid.
When we were kids, we used to tie a rope to a
yeah,
tree,
I can imagine.
climb down the rope,
Yeah.
and then swing and go
Yeah.
into caves that were
Yeah.
made into the
Yeah.
mountain.
No, I wouldn't do that now, unfortunately.
But this is, back in the 50s.
Yeah.
This was a great town to live in.
That's Epstein's, which is still
That,
there.
that was originally the post office.
It was?
Yeah, I'll show you. Watch this. Let me go back.
Yeah.
This was originally the Tuckahoe post office. Just to the right was the alleyway next to my apartment building.
Yeah.
This is the apartment building I lived in, and
Yeah.
here's the alleyway.
Yeah.
And if you go to the right of the building I grew up in,
Yeah.
here's Epstein's.
K-Wars?
This is Epstein's.
Yeah. K-War should be someplace there. A paint store.
Oh, Tuckahoe Paint and Glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just,
Why did the post office move out of that old building to move into a new building on the corner? And it seems as though they have less space, the new building.
they must have had a reason. That I don't know.
Yeah, it must
Phil,
be
Phil,
money.
Phil White would know that.
Yeah.
But all of these pictures here, this is all along the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
They were all apartment buildings,
Yeah.
and they all shook
Yeah.
when the trains went.
Yeah. There's a 50s station wagon.
I think that's when they took all these pictures.
Yeah.
So walking along here as a kid,
Yeah.
friends lived here,
Yeah.
grandparents lived in these buildings.
You ever sit out on the fire escapes? You must have.
Probably,
Yeah. Okay.
but it was
Fine.
nice town. I guess that really concludes the photo presentation part of the day.
Yes.
Hope you found it interesting.
That's why I'm still here. Okay. You didn't ask me why. Did you find it so interesting?
And why did you find it so
Why did you
interesting?
find it so interesting? Because I take pictures, and I would go places to see old pictures, International Center of Photography, and one of the things I do as a retired man is I use Photoshop and I use Lightroom to make composites of some of my pictures. And some of that stuff I don't think is worth composites, but you can do all kinds of things.
I tried using photographic software to enhance the pictures,
Yeah.
but I found some of the pictures, the resolution was so terrible back then that if you tried to enhance, it began to lose something.
Very understandable, but there must be a way in retouching technique to deal with that, to add pixels, and that's what you're talking about. You're talking about adding pixels to the pictures to make them better.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it could be done.
You know, I'll talk to you after I shut down over here, because I'm into photography. I want to do a lot of photography in Tuckahoe, Eastchester, Bronxville, to have something well organized and planned for future generations. And that'll be coming. But right now, Tuckahoe was my first target growing up here. Next in line, I'll be working with Rich Forliano to take care of Eastchester, and then I'll start to automate things for Bronxville.
Yeah.
It's, all three towns or villages were all intermingled, and
Yes.
I think it'll be great. And, well, that concludes.
Yes, we'll conclude that.